Hey guys, so today we're going to do a quick video about two-step equations. So we've already done one-step equations and we've discussed inverse operations. So let's move on with two-step equations and how we complete them. So for example here, I have 3x plus 2 equals 6. Now with the x there, I have a plus 2 and a multiplication of 3 on that side. The rule with two-step equations is to always leave whatever's with the pronumeral to last. So with the pronumeral here, I have 3x. So the pronumeral is x, and with it I have this 3. So I'm going to leave that till last, and I'm going to get rid of everything else on that side. And the other thing that's on that side is the plus 2. So I'm going to get rid of the plus 2 first. Remember, get rid of everything that's not with the pronumeral first, and leave whatever's with the pronumeral to last. So let's do the opposite of plus 2, or the inverse of plus 2, which is minus 2. Whatever I do on one side, I must do on the other. That cancels that out. Now, what am I left with? I'm left with 3x equals 6 minus 2. And 6 minus 2 is 4. So that's our first step. Now, our next step is to get x by itself. What's with the x is this multiplication of 3. The opposite of multiplication, or 3 times, is division, divided by 3. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And I'm left with x equals 4 over 3. Or 1 and 1/3. We can also write this as a decimal, but it's preferable to leave it as a fraction at this stage. So that was the first example of a two-step equation. Let's move on to example number 2. Here I have x over 3 plus 2 equals 11. Now remember our rule with two-step equations. Whatever's with the pronumeral, which is x over 3, leave it till last. Don't touch it until you've got rid of everything else on that side of the equation. So what is on that side of the equation is the plus 2. Opposite of plus 2 is minus 2. Minus 2 on both sides. That cancels both of them out. I'm left with x over 3 equals 11 minus 2, which is 9. So that's our first step. Now, x is not by itself. It's got divided by 3 with it. So, the opposite of division of 3 is multiply by 3. So I'll multiply both sides by 3. And I'm left with the x cancelling out, the 3 cancelling out, sorry. I'm left with x equals 9 times 3, which is 27. Let's move on to example 3. Example 3 says x plus 3 over 2 equals 2. Now here, in order for me to touch that x or be able to do anything with that x, I need to get rid of the denominator first. And the denominator there is the 2, this 2 down here. So I can see that that's divided by 2. I can't touch the x plus 3 until I get rid of that 2. So the opposite of divided by 2 is to multiply by 2. Whatever I do on one side, I must do on the other. That cancels that out. And now I'm left with x plus 3 equals 2 times 2, which is 4. That's our first step. See how the 2 cancelled out? Now I can touch the x and what's with it. What is with that x? We have a plus 3. Opposite of plus 3 is minus 3. I minus 3 on both sides to balance the equation. That cancels that out. I'm left with the end answer is x equals 4 minus 3, which is 1. Remember, you can always go back and check whether you got the right answer by substituting this value back into the original equation where x is to see if it will equal and balance out on both sides. Now I'd like you guys to try these few examples here. Pause the video, try it out, and then we'll go through the correct answers. Okay, so let's go through this. First, I'll leave r over 10 by itself. My pronumeral is r. Opposite of, and we want to get rid of the plus 4. Opposite of plus 4 is minus 4 on both sides. First step, r over 10 equals 5 minus 4, which is 1. Now the opposite of division of 10 is multiplication of 10, so I can multiply both sides by 10. I'm left with r equals 1 times 10, which is 10. Let's do example number 2, or B. I'm going to leave 3p to last. I'm going to touch the minus 2 first. Opposite of minus 2 is plus 2. I'm going to add 2 on both sides. I'm left with 3p equals minus 29 plus 2, which equals minus 27. Now, p is not by itself. I still got a multiplication of 3 there, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. I'm left with p equals minus 27 over 3, or divided by 3, which equals minus 9. Let's do the last example here, where I have n minus 5 over 2 equals 5. Remember, we can't touch the n or the minus 5 until I get rid of the denominator there, which is the 2. So the opposite of division of 2 is multiplication of 2, so I can do that on both sides. Times 2 times 2 cancels out. I'm left with n minus 5 equals 10. Now, I need to get rid of whatever is with the n, which is a minus 5. The opposite of minus 5 is plus 5. Cancels out. I'm left with n equals 10 plus 5, which is 15. So I hope that video helped you guys. If you have any further questions, please comment below.